Well, hello there, and welcome to State Game Land 60. If you remember from previous videos, this is the backyard to my backyard when I was a kid, and I just hit some childhood memories. So as you've seen in the opening seconds of this video, this stream right down here is pretty important to our land nav today. And by chance, as I was coming over to film it, I found something that was important to me as a child. These tunnels that are right over there. They're really just drainage pipes, but they're important. And on top of those drainage pipes is the old railroad grade that was also important to our land navigation today. So why are those two things important to our land navigation today? Well, in land navigation, you're sometimes on a map, using topographic maps usually, and they don't always have a lot of information. And the map that I'm using today is a map from 1993, which would be 2 years before I graduated high school. And there's not a lot of information on it. This area is a reclaimed strip mine, and there's not much landmarks left. Unless you look at a historic map to get your landmarks. So, yes, once again, you almost always have to have multiple map sources to make any sense of anything other than just wandering around in the woods. So as you see here, there's my pack and my map, and just some really neat trees, which is actually what drew me over here. I could hear the water, so I knew I was getting close, and I had already stepped away from the railroad grade looking for a marker in my mind that I knew was a structure that should be here, and trying my best not to use digital help. You kind of got to walk around in circles. So here's our map, our compass, our notebook. Inside the pack obviously is the pens, and get squatted down here, show you where we are. So as I mentioned, old railroad grade. Just so you know, I do have the map pretty much oriented. So the railroad grade, as you're looking here, is off to the right, and the stream, which is right here, is behind us. So why are those important? Well, the only other thing on this map that actually exists at the moment is this road, which is 253 and 453, and then this access to the game lands. So we walked back this access to this bend, and there was a road that I remembered existing in my mind because, like I said, I've been all over this place as a child, and I took it because, as you can see, I wanted to get to the railroad grade somewhere in where it intersects this stream, and obviously following that road was taking me away, so we headed towards it. I hiked on a road that isn't on this map to about here, and then I took a road that isn't on any of the maps down to this old railroad grade, which I learned today. The railroad grade is private property. They ask you don't drive motorized vehicles on it, and ultimately you're not allowed to drive motorized vehicles in the game land anyways. I guess that would apply to your electric bikes with only throttle, but you know. So once I got to the railroad grade, which we're going to take a wild guess was about here, I started to proceed this way. And then I saw some interesting trees, and I knew that the buildings I was looking for were away from the railroad grade shown on this map, because there's actually a spur that kind of goes like that on the historic map. And I hope the shadow's not ruining this video, but so that's where we're at. we're about right here. And I don't know if this is what I was looking for exactly, but in true Pennsylvania Forester adventurer fashion, I wasn't going to make a video today, and then I found this foundation. And here we are at a foundation in the middle of the woods that has something to do with railroad history here and mine history. This one, unlike the last one we went to, it's pretty self-explanatory. It appears to be a basement, or at least the ground floor of some type of railroad building. It could be a way station, an office. This could also be part of the mines. There's many mines here, which ultimately the railroad is here because of the mines. So yeah, just thought I would do a quick little video. I didn't really get technical with the land navigation. I plan to do that very soon, and I plan to make a couple really decent videos that are, my favorite word, scripted, where I'm going to actually try to explain some things and make a video versus record of the fact I wandered around in the woods. So that's what I wanted to show you today. Also, this stream is pretty beautiful. I don't know if it's going to show up on video for you at all, and it's very windy today. So that was just what I wanted to do. Just wanted to bring you all out here to State Game Land 60. My favorite place to be when I was a kid. It's where I spent all my available time to just get away from the house and people and come out here with the animals. Yeah, I was one of them kids. I liked the animals better than my friends, but I still loved my friends. Just like all of you subscribers, I appreciate every one of you. I hope you learned something today, saw something you never saw before. Till the next one. So those of you that have been around know there's always, after the sign off stuff on my videos, and I even used the wrong sign off phrase. But here's some old timbers from the railroad. Some more there. This is the second red blaze I've seen. I'm not real sure what that actually means. I don't know if the game lands actually bordered this section of private property or not with markers. So as a kid, we would ride our four-wheelers down here because we were allowed then. And this is pretty sad, but looks like one of the tunnels, per se, the drainage tubes, has broken off. Some old railroad timbers, mine timbers maybe. Almost looks like we got a little bit of a sinkhole going on here. Oh, I love these streams. Even as a kid, I would just come sit by the stream, just like I do now. Yeah, look, we got some. Wow, I can't talk today. So here's the. If I can do this without dying. Those tunnels I mentioned. Kind of hard to really see anything other than the stream. See if I can do this without losing my phone. Oh, we're gonna go upside down. Don't know if you can see anything. Used to ride in there, hang out, eat lunch, whatever. Just a beautiful area of Pennsylvania to be, even today yet. Oh, well, the ants survived the winter. They are everywhere. So yeah, really cool. This I actually thought was further south on this, which would actually have been the way that I was not going today. So that was pretty neat, because this is one of the things that I did want to find. And I found it by looking for something else. Funny how that happens. All right. As I mentioned, thank you to all my subscribers. I'm going to try to get some, I guess, learning videos out. Try to teach some stuff. Not really teach some stuff, maybe give you some guidelines. How about that? For some land nav, how to find these types of places on a map, how to get to these types of places that you might not even realize exist. And I just found something else that's kind of neat. Right here, it's hard to see, I'm not real sure what's going on. Right there, that looks like that might be one of those railroad spurs I'm talking about. You can see how it's raised and kind of flat. So we got lots to come back down and check out right here. Unfortunately, it's 5:30. We got a chance of thunderstorms all evening. I don't really want to get wet, but I'm also not afraid to. So apparently I got a smudge on my camera. Well, thanks for coming along. I hope to catch you at the edge of the forest.